Hello, this is Casey Schaub. This video will detail how you prepare a manual assessment now that you have created one. In other words, this will detail how to print out the bubble sheets that your students will use in conjunction with a printed copy of the test. To gain access to your assessments, you're going to click on Assessments, List Assessments, and click on the title of the assessment that you would like to print bubble sheets for. If your assessment does not yet have any student responses, then you will receive a pop-up message. You can click on Print Answer Sheets from here to get to where you can print your students' answer sheets. However, this pop-up menu will not appear once there is student response data in the assessment. Therefore, I want to show you how to get to the same menu option regardless of whether student response data exists in the assessment. I'm going to click the Dismiss button to get rid of this pop-up. I am immediately taken to the Details page. Click on the Administration tab toward the top of the page. It is right next to the Setup option. A pop-up menu will appear. Every option here is related to administering or grading a manual/hybrid assessment. Since we're going to go the manual route for administering this assessment, we need to print the answer sheets. Click Print Answer Sheets. You will see options toward the top that say Print Pre-Slugged or Print Blank. Pre-Slugged will have the student's information already entered on the form. I recommend using Print Pre-Slugged due to having a lower margin of error than students bubbling in their own student ID. If you scroll down here, you will see some filtering options with regards to printing. The first one I want to point out is Courses. If you click within the box under where it says Courses, a pop-up menu will appear with a list of the courses that you are currently teaching. If I selected one of the courses available here, then I could print an answer sheet for all of my students in that course. I do not suggest you go this route because I believe using the Classes option will provide you with better organization, especially at the secondary level. I'm going to click in the box underneath where it says Classes, and a pop-up menu will appear. You can go ahead and select each class here. By default, the system is set up to print each class alphabetically by last name. Therefore, if I select multiple classes, it will order them with the first class I selected, with the students in alphabetical order, and then the second class I selected, with those students in alphabetical order, and so forth. You can also search for students in the box underneath where it says Students, to print off answer sheets for an individual or multiple students. I would only use this method if I need to find a small subset of students to print off the answer sheets for. Here is just one scenario where that makes sense. What if the majority of my students took a hybrid assessment online, but I wanted to have one student take this assessment with paper and a pencil? Therefore, I could search for that student here and print off an answer sheet just for that student. There are some advanced filters you can access by clicking the displayed text that reads Additional Filters. This will then show you other filters such as student programs, grade levels, gender, socioeconomic status, and special education status, among others. These filtering options could be extremely useful for a district benchmark assessment. I am thinking of a case where a curriculum director may print off answer sheets for an entire grade level that is taking a benchmark assessment. There are additional printing options that can be accessed by clicking Advanced Options. You will see that I can try to fit multiple answer sheets per page. The number of questions and types of questions on your assessment will determine the viability of printing multiple answer sheets on one page. This assessment will not be able to print more than one student's answer sheet on a single page due to the inclusion of rubric questions and the choices I made during the sheet designer portion of the assessment creation process. You can also change the size of the bubbles here as well. Once we have selected all the options that we want, we can then click the blue Generate button to download the PDF of the answer sheets. I am currently using Google Chrome, therefore the download will appear in the bottom left side of my window. I can then double click the file when it's done downloading and it will open up. Once they're finished downloading, you can then print. Once you have these printed, you will have to provide the students the assessment to use in conjunction with these answer sheets. They will then fill in bubbles for questions that contain bubbles and write responses/show their work for any of the constructed response items. Other videos will detail how to scan the bubble sheets and grade constructed response items. Thank you for watching this video.